Nonfiction texts. Again, nonfiction texts are those texts that are informational. They provide information about a particular topic. They have lots of facts. They're not just totally facts, though. You'll sometimes find the author's opinion or the author's point of view in there, but they're usually out there to provide information about a particular topic. As we launch back into nonfiction, we really want to be taking it slow in the beginning. We're going to break it down so that it's not just jump right in and read it. We actually really want to be working through and previewing a text, and that's what today's going to be all about. There are three really big steps when we're talking about getting started with nonfiction, and oftentimes we do this seamlessly. We do these without really even thinking a whole lot about it, but I really want to call them out because it's going to help us better understand our text, maybe make more meaning. In this case, the first thing that we do whenever we have a text is we want to look at the title, the sections, the pictures. We want to think about what we notice about them. Okay, that's going to be one of the first things that we do here, and we'll walk through all of these with a sample article in just a second. We want to be thinking about what is it that they wrote, what they call the article, what are the little breakout pieces that they've broken the text into, how is it set up? Also, what are the pictures and where are they in the text? After that, we want to be thinking about what do we already know? Do we know anything about this text? Oftentimes, we have some background knowledge. We've seen something, we've heard something. What can we say initially to kind of get ourselves started? Now, we might find later on that our information changes or our point of view changes, and that is okay. But we want to have a starting point for what we know about something. And then lastly, we really want to be asking what questions we have about a topic. As a reader, you should really be thinking about this as a thinker. What is it that I'm thinking about this? What do I know? What do I want to know? What am I wondering here? It's going to help you as you go forward. Notice not all of these questions are going to be answered by your text. That happens. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. So let's get started over here. I found an article that I was interested in about solar panels. It's called How Things Work, Solar Cells. First thing on there, I want to look at my title, my sections, and pictures. I want to think about what I noticed. Well, the first thing I noticed right off the bat is they call them solar cells, which is not something that I'm totally familiar with. I think I've called them solar panels before. I'm hoping that those are the same. I might be asking that as a question later. I see this big giant picture up close of solar cells or solar panels. And they look really similar to the ones that I've seen from far away. It's got a little a caption underneath it. Remember that those words that go with our picture. Solar panels can be used for many devices. Okay, power. Has something called silicon. I've heard of that. I think it's an element of some sort. I've heard something called Silicon Valley. So I'm wonder if that those two things are going to be the same. As I come down further, talks about design and oh, it's got a little diagram that shows some things. Those are things that I don't really know a whole lot about. I think my bit of science in here looks like those are elements, and it's got some levels to it, so that's interesting. So silicon design, many uses for solar powers. Okay, so in here I can already think about how it's broken apart. So when I look at it, it looks like it's going to be about solar panels or solar cells. It's got sections about silicon and design. Okay. It looks like it's got some diagrams for it. Okay. My next piece here is I want to think about what I already know about it. Well, for me, myself, when I'm looking at this, I think about all the solar panels. I see solar panels in my neighborhood or my area. I've seen them on houses before. Solar panels on houses. I think I've seen. I know that they provide power. And then as I kind of keep thinking about it, there's not a whole lot else I really know about them. I'm really interested though. And that brings us to the last part, which is, do I have any questions about it? Yeah, and I think probably the first piece that I'm wondering about is how are solar panels made? How are they made? And I also wonder a little bit about how do they work? And I'm hoping I'll learn that here. I might not, but I'm hoping that I will. How do they work? Maybe when did they start too? I might want to know that. When did they start? Okay. So I've got all these questions here, and that gives me a good launch off point for starting as a nonfiction reader. At this point, then I would start by going through and reading really closely with my article, going through it, and I might even take a couple notes. I might highlight something on the text if I've got it printed or if it's online. I might also decide to put some stars or maybe make some notes on a piece of paper after. And that would be what you would do next. So, again, want to make sure that you're looking at everything and previewing it beforehand. Notice it was a quick skim, meaning I looked at the words. I wasn't trying to read it initially. Looking at these section headings, looking at the pictures, trying to figure out what it might be about. After that, I thought about what I already knew. And then lastly, I asked some questions. And then that will be part of our process as we get ourselves rolling with nonfiction this week.